Hello and welcome to Top of the Class Professional Tuition. Now, welcome to our online tutor training course. My name is Stuart Adams. Now, I'll be your guide here over the next couple of hours. I'm the owner of the company. So by the time you finish this training, hopefully I'll also have the privilege of being your employer as well. So by this stage, you would have applied for the role. You would have received an email saying that you've been successful, letting you know the rate of pay, and asking you to click on a link to do the short training course, so which is what stage we're up to now. Now, you probably wouldn't have received a phone call by this stage. We try to be as efficient as possible when training and employing new tutors, so the first phone call that you'll receive from us will be after you've completed the training here. So let me start off by giving you a little bit of background information, firstly about myself, about the company, and also about the role that you'll be playing. Now, I was a school teacher, I was a high school teacher myself, and I eventually became a careers advisor because I had a strong desire to make an important difference in the lives of my students. I didn't want to just go into a classroom, tell kids to sit down and shut up, do some work so I can go home, collect my pay and make my life easy. I didn't think there was really much point becoming a teacher just to do that. Eventually I left the classroom completely and established this company here, Top of the Class, to fulfill a need for students who not just need a tutor but also need a good role model, a mentor, someone who can instill them with self-confidence and motivation, not just tell them what to do. So if you've also ever had a strong desire to make a big difference in the lives of your students, then you've definitely come to the right place, and I certainly believe that your experience working here with us at Top of the Class will enable you to do just that. So let me tell you a little bit about how it all works. I'll tell you about who this role is for, who this role is not for, and what will be involved once you start working for us. Now firstly, we're essentially a tutoring agency. We're like a middleman. Parents will contact us here asking for a tutor to come out directly to their home to work one-on-one with their son or their daughter. So what we do is we find and train and employ tutors all throughout Australia. So when we get an inquiry here for somebody that's looking for a tutor in the particular area that you specialise in, we give you a call and we'll let you know that we have a new client available for you. And then we send you out to their home, give you a bit of background information about the client's son or daughter, so that then you can take the baton and run with it from there. We provide private tuition to kids from kindy, sometimes even younger, all the way through to high school up to year 12, QCE, VCE, HSC, depending on which state you're in. Sometimes we even have mature age students as well. I'd say around about 50% of the requests that we receive are for primary school and the remainder are for high school or older. Around about 50% of the requests we receive are for English literacy skills, reading, writing, comprehension, expressive writing, and the remaining 50% usually for mathematics. A very small proportion might ask for things like physics, chemistry, legal studies occasionally, but almost all the requests are for maths and English. Now, we generally find students for you within a 10-kilometre radius from your home. We generally prefer not to send you more than about 10 kilometres away. It's a bit far to travel, especially during peak hour traffic. Now, because the students are mostly school kids, most of the work will be in the afternoons after school. Usually the earliest tutoring times requested around about 4, sometimes 5 or 6 p.m. After that it gets a little bit late. Some high school kids will ask for lessons sort of beyond 7, 8 o'clock. So Monday through to Friday. Friday probably isn't as popular, but Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday are the most popular days in the afternoons, with occasional requests on weekends as well. So let me tell you who this role is for and who this role is not for. This role is ideally for people who are school teachers or student teachers, someone studying to become a school teacher, or experienced teachers' aides. We occasionally have some tutors who have been university lecturers or tutored at university. Ideally somebody that has at least some kind of teaching experience. You absolutely must have very good communication skills, very good people skills, and the ability to work unsupervised as well. Interestingly, studies have found that the two most deficient skills employers report in the workplace are the ability to work unsupervised and good communication skills. And despite this, almost everybody thinks that they have good communication skills and think that they have a good ability to work unsupervised. Very few people actually do. So this will be a great experience for you. It'll look fantastic on your CV. Put it this way, imagine that, for those of you who are a classroom teacher can identify with this, imagine that you have to leave the classroom for a while and leave some work with your students to do unsupervised. Now you know that some students are going to be able to take the initiative and responsibility to continue working unsupervised and they can do fine, but you also know that a lot of students simply can't handle it if there's no one looking over their shoulder holding their hand all the time. Now, if you got to choose your ideal class of students to make life easier for you, chances are you probably handpick the students who you know can work unsupervised well and probably discard the rest. Similarly, employers look upon this in the same way. Everybody wants to employ people who they know don't need to be micromanaged, can just take the baton and run with it, and work completely unsupervised. Very few people actually can do that as well as they think they can, so this will be absolutely fantastic experience for you. Okay, so who is this job not for? Firstly, obviously, if you're the kind of person who needs to have your hand held and needs someone looking over your shoulder all the time there to help you out and telling you what to do every step of the way, this might not work out for you. The purpose of this training is to provide you with all the know-how so that you can be out there remote, unsupervised, and know exactly what to do. This training also serves a dual purpose for us as a filtration device. We obviously know that when you're there unsupervised right now, no one's going to know if you just kind of skim through the videos a bit, go down to the questions and try and guess the answers a bit and hope for the best. But obviously we can anticipate that some people are going to do that. And so for that reason, the questions are set up to separate people who have actually watched the course in its entirety and those who decide to cut some corners. People who cut corners can't usually work unsupervised very well. So if that describes you, maybe you're probably better off working in an environment where you've got a team around you and an employee looking over your shoulder all the time. Now, as for who else this job is not for, this job is not for people who are looking for full-time work at the moment and just looking for a little bit of pocket money to tide you over until you find a full-time job. My least favourite phone call is the one where someone rings up and says, "Hi Stuart, how you going? Look, I've just got a full-time job, so unfortunately I won't be able to continue tutoring anymore." Now look, if you are looking for a full-time job and let's say for example you were to land a full-time job in the next few weeks or months, if that happened and you would still be happy to continue tutoring outside of work hours and on weekends and you can commit to at least 6 hours a week for at least 6 months, then that's fantastic. If, however, you were to land a full-time job in the next few weeks or months, and as a result of that you would have to leave, it's probably best to bow out now before we go through the effort of training you, signing up your paperwork, sending you out to students' homes, only to then have to tell them a few weeks later that you have to leave. Students tend to feel a little bit abandoned, and parents are really, they come to us looking for someone that we can provide to them long-term too. So if you are happy to commit to at least 6 hours a week for at least 6 months, you can work unsupervised, you've got great communication skills, you've got at least some experience teaching, and you know the school curriculum outcomes that you'll be teaching, then that's fantastic. We would love to have you on board. So the training below is essentially a series of short videos, kind of like lectures, broken up into each category, where I run you through every step of the process that you'll need to know so that once you're out there, you know exactly what to do. The entire duration of the training is around about 2 hours. So if you've ever sat through a 2-hour lecture at uni, which you've probably sat through many of, certainly it won't be too dreadful to sit through 2 hours of me showing you the ropes. So that way, once you're out there in the field, you know exactly what to do. I hope you find this course both interesting and valuable, and hope that no matter what career path you choose, that it'll help you with being able to inspire, motivate, and build confidence in people of all ages. Sorry, just bear with me one second. Hello, top of the class professional tuition. This is Stuart speaking.
Hi, look, I was hoping to get a tutor to help my son with his schoolwork.
Sure, well, that's something that I can help you with. What was your name? Tanya, okay, Tanya. And you said it was for your son. What's your son's name? James, all right. So, Tanya, what's been going on with James exactly? Which particular areas of schoolwork did you want a tutor to help him with? Was it maths, literacy, reading, writing?
His maths is okay and his writing isn't too bad, but he's really struggling with his reading.
With his reading, okay. So what year is James in at school? Year 1, okay. And so, look, you said he struggled with his reading. What happened with his reading exactly when you go to do reading with him?
He just guesses his words rather than stop and sound them out, you know. It's like he's in a hurry to get it over with, and so he just needs to stop and think about it a bit more.
Well, that's very common at this age, especially for boys too, who are often just in a hurry to get it over and done with. So, look, what do you notice happens when you do reading with him? I mean, does he get irritable? Does he get disengaged? What happens exactly?
He gets really anxious when he goes to read, and I get frustrated with him, and it makes him even more reluctant to give it a go. So I'd really like someone who can have some patience with him.
Of course, and that's where someone neutral that's been specialist trained like a tutor can be very helpful. Our tutors specifically are trained to be able to boost confidence and motivation, which might be really specifically helpful in James's case too. So, look, tell me, what kind of things do you find that James really gets enthusiastic about? What things, when you're observing him, the kind of things that make him feel very confident and engaged in his learning?
Well, he likes sport and games. He loves computer games.
He likes computer games. Okay, well, look, if he's struggling with his reading, There are actually some really great literacy computer games, apps out there specifically these days that might be helpful. Does he have like a tablet or an iPad or anything like that?
He does have an iPad actually. He's got that Reading Eggs program, but I don't think he likes it too much.
That's actually very common feedback I get about Reading Eggs, Tanya. So look, I think maybe we can find some other literacy apps on the iPad that'll get him a bit more engaged, that he can enjoy a little bit more. So Tanya, look, what suburb, where are you located? Kings Langley, and that's in Sydney. Right, and look, which days and times will be suitable for us to send a tutor out to your home to work with James? Thursday and Friday. Which time specifically would be available? After 5 p.m. Okay. Look, what I'll do, Tanya, is find a tutor that's available in your area. Let me just look up a program we use called TeachWorks. Okay, look, I can see that we have a tutor available in your area called Tyler. Now, Tyler is available on Wednesdays and Thursdays between 4 and 6. So look, that time suits you. We can make Thursday at 5 p.m. Why don't I send Tyler out to your home this Thursday at 5 p.m. to work with James? I'll actually get Tyler to give you a call in the next 24 hours to touch base with you, and he can have a chat with you too about how he can help James improve his reading. Well, Tanya, I hope it all goes well for the first lesson. I'll actually email you through a link to an article and a video that might help you get James prepared for the first lesson. I'll also send you through a link to our registration form. That'll contain a video that explains how the whole process works, and also have a form that we can put in your credit card details. Payment is just done each Monday by credit card, so you don't need to worry about paying Tyler directly. Well, Tanya, if there's anything else that I can help you with, please give me a call. But otherwise, Tyler will speak to you soon, and that way you can deal with him from now on in. Great. All right. Thanks very much, Tanya. Cheers. Bye-bye. Okay, well, look, we've just organised a new lesson for Tyler. Now, Tyler is a brand new tutor here at the top of the class. This will be his first ever lesson. So why don't we follow Tyler through the process so that way we can see how everything works. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the training below.